was quite a bit of discussion with respect to South Island aggregates and the potential contamination issues related to the Sioux Lake water supply from, of course, what's well-known issues that are going on north of us, over the Malahat. I will leave it to some of my colleagues to address that further, but it was a very interesting discussion about our water supply and water all over this island.
Thank you, Councillor Rodham. I think the Sioux flow line is 100 years old, right?
And the flow line?
The flow line, the old concrete water line that goes from the reservoir into town. The sections that you can walk on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
And throughout the season, it will be open for the public to go and take a look at what is now the current system, as well as some of the existing or remaining legacy infrastructure from that period. So it should be a very interesting opportunity to see how water used to travel around here and how it, in some cases, continues to travel around here in much vaster quantities.
Thank you. Councillor Plant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll endeavor to be as quick as I can without missing anything that I consider super important, because I'm happy to serve the residents of Saanich as a CRD director. I sit on several committees that I'm proud to sit on, so here we go. The governance committee hasn't met since we last reported out, so nothing to add there. The arts committee I'm the vice chair of, and I'm really excited that we were able to include a comment regarding having an inclusion of the arts in the CRD strategic plan, looking at it as a part of an economic plan for our region and working with our partner groups as well as with our stakeholders, both in those performing arts and also art organizations themselves. The other interesting things out of the Arts Committee that I would want to share with colleagues is there's a notification process that's been developed. Arts organizations, once they start to get funding, how do you ever have them not get funding? And not that we want those to not happen, but sometimes organizations start to fall outside of their mandate. And so our Arts Advisory Council, which advises the committee, has come up with some very good language that would serve notice to those organizations that are no longer meeting their mandate or no longer providing the experiences or the programming that we're expecting of them. So that language is important to have, because you think, well, how else do you just get somebody to not fund them? And it's very hard for those organizations. So there's a corrective measure in there. The other part that's exciting with the Arts Committee is small organizations. Currently, funding for organizations that operate on a budget of less than $50,000 is done on a project-by-project basis. And you have to have operations over $50,000 in order to get operating grants. And we are now developing, again, through the Arts Advisory Council, some language to help those emerging companies develop so that they stay in our region. I said I'd be quick, so here we go. A lot less on the arts, pardon me, more on the arts than the others. I also sit on the Capital Regional Housing Corporation. I'm proud to say we passed the operational plan as part of our 4-year strategic plan. Just for those who aren't sure what the Capital Regional Housing Corporation, that is the organization that deals with a lot of the subsidized and public housing that is available for people at discounted rental, usually attached to about 30% of their income. I'll leave it at that for now. You're welcome to ask questions about that. I sit on the CRD Traffic Commission, and just to give the heads up, pun intended, the active headrests campaign is coming. That's going to see that we can actually reduce a lot of claims and a lot of injuries if people have their headrests in their vehicles actively put in the correct position. So you'll start seeing ads on that, just like you saw Crotches Killed, the famous Don't Text ads. You'll see active headrests one coming forward. We're also going to create a website and a Twitter account for the CRD Traffic Commission, which sounds like no big deal, except there hasn't been one. So we're going to create one. One last comment just on the core area liquid waste management committee and then the east side committee. It's been a pleasurable experience to work with people who are motivated to get things done and to work collaboratively with others. What I would just like to reiterate to the public and to my colleagues is the importance that we go out and make sure that our residents understand that the technically feasible does not mean that we think it's a great idea. In fact, I had a lovely opportunity to visit through a park that was identified as one of our potential sites, and I just can't help but think, oh my goodness, this would be crazy to do it here. So I would like to state how pleased I am to be a part of that committee, to work with the other CRD directors on this council as well, but looking forward to seeing what is refined this weekend when we go to UVic, or pardon me, this weekend, excuse me, UVic and the Conference Center, and look forward to reporting back, hopefully, a great progression at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clement. Councillor Haynes, do you have anything to report?
Thank you. I'll give a brief report. I'm the Vice Chair on the Regional Housing Trust Fund, and the good news is we spent all the money this year. That means that the money is out there working on affordable home opportunities, and the homes are pitched at people that would not normally be able to afford accommodation. And it will shortly be announced, but we just completed, I believe, pending final approval, another public-private partnership which allows us to lever the monies available through the Regional Housing Trust Fund with private partners. And the monies through the Regional Housing Trust Fund include donations, grant contributions from the municipalities, including Saanich. So that's very good to be part of that. I'm also a commissioner on the CIP Water Commission, as Councillor Murdoch said, and I'd like to compliment Commissioner Derman, who came up with a very innovative approach to support our colleagues up in Shawnigan in terms of asking staff to report back on the possibility of restricting the export of contaminated sludge or soils into that region. So kudos to Councillor Derman.
All right, thank you. So I think that completes our agenda. And before we move to the open forum, I just want to state that we're going to have to reconvene an in-camera meeting after that, in accordance with sections 91C and I of the Community Charter. So with that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Council? All in favor? Yes, motion passed. All right. So let's give our staff an opportunity to relocate, and then we'll start with the open forum. Okay, thanks for waiting, everybody. This forum is an opportunity for citizens to engage with council without formal meeting proceedings. In order for the forum to be productive and meaningful for everyone, council and citizens, your respectful behavior in this chamber is imperative. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes to address council on district-related topics. Please be aware that some topics are excluded under rules of legal or procedural fairness. An example of this will be something that's going to be heard at the public hearing. I ask for your cooperation in refraining from addressing matters that are to be excluded. In this forum, you are addressing council. Questions must be directed through me, not to individual members of council. And as necessary, I will turn the question over to council or an individual member to reply. If questions remain unanswered, the question will be noted and later referred to staff for assistance in taking those notes. Members of council should not make any commitments on behalf of council as the council meeting is concluded. So with that, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address clearly so we can contact you if necessary. And if you can limit your comments to 3 minutes, that would be most appreciated.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, good evening. My name is Haji Charania, and I'm speaking, I reside at 757 Genevieve Road in Sandwich. And tonight I'm speaking on behalf of North Quarter Residents Association. Mr. Mayor, I had 4 items, but I think it's too late to go over 4 items, so I'm going to stick to only one, an important one.
Thank you, Haji.
Thank you. You must be aware our AGM is on Wednesday, May 27th at 7:30
I'll be there.
at the Church of Nazarene, 4277 Quadra Street, and you are all most welcome to attend the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Haji. Haji, I also owe you a bio. I've seen your email, and I'll get that to you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I got a call from Jennifer, so we'll connect.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please. Welcome.
Welcome. Why, I don't need to use that. Welcome. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, councilors, and any staff. I'm Larry Lane. I live at 1850 San Lorenzo Avenue. And I'm here with a report from a citizen at large about the municipality of Saanach's response to questions and helpfulness in general. April 28th. I and a few other guests were welcomed by Dean Murdoch at the meeting of the Environment and Natural Areas Advisory Committee. After the meeting, in an email to Adrienne Pollard, the Environmental Services Manager, I shared a number of observations and asked a number of questions. I received a detailed response that answered my questions. April 30th, I visited the Agnes Street Community Gardens. I had a most informative talk with one gardener hand digging over his worm-filled allotment. Then another fascinating talk with a couple who used to walk to the former Gordon Head and Feltham garden allotments and now drive